Sony announces that Venom 2 finally has an official release date as well as an official title, but what does this mean for the rest of the Sony Marvel Universe? Let's talk about that right now. Hello everybody and welcome back to another movie news video. My name is Joker and today we are discussing the Venom 2 announcement that we got yesterday, talking about its release date and its title. I guess really it's no surprise that we were getting a Venom 2 since the first movie became one of those sleeper films that overnight just made a whole lot of money, even though the movie itself really wasn't that great. I really loved the casting for Venom 1, and the story was okay, and the writing was just a little odd at times, but the overall production value and the end product we got when the movie actually hit theaters left some people feeling a little empty, especially since we were hoping for a really great portrayal of Venom, especially since the last on-screen Venom we got was in Spider-Man 3 in the Sam Raimi trilogy, and we don't have to go into how bad that was, because you already know. But of course, at the end of the film, we did get an end credit scene, just like every other Marvel movie, showing us a Woody Harrelson dressed up as Cletus Cassidy to play Carnage in the next film. Now, of course, when we saw this in theaters, this was a big deal, considering this is going to be the first time we've ever seen Carnage on screen. There was a lot of fan castings and a lot of rumors back in the day when the Sam Raimi trilogy was still going, saying that there was going to be a fourth installment of Spider-Man that was going to have Carnage as the main villain, played by Jim Carrey. I don't know where any of those rumors started, or even if any of them were potentially true. All I know is that was what a lot of the fans were talking about, and the more I looked at it, seeing Jim Carrey play Cletus Cassidy, who was just an insane serial killer, I thought that would have been pretty great. I thought the casting was okay, but of course that never came to fruition. Now seeing Woody Harrelson do it, it's cool, but it's really weird, especially since Woody Harrelson has no hair. So seeing him with that interesting red wig just makes him seem all more dangerous, at least to me it does. If I was in a room with him, I would definitely feel uncomfortable. But that leads us into the main topic for the day, being Venom 2 finally has its official title being Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and a new release date being June 25th of 2021. And I found that release date to be extremely interesting because originally Matt Reeves' The Batman was going to be coming out June 25th of 2021 until Warner Brothers decided to push it back due to the COVID-19 pandemic and pushed it to October 1st. And within 24 hours of that change, Sony jumped on that date and decided to put Venom there to hopefully make it a summer blockbuster. That's really interesting to me because I'm wondering if because of the COVID-19 pandemic, if a lot of other film companies are going to be doing the same thing and battling for the most early spots to try to make any money back that they've lost in 2020. Because obviously, if you've watched my channel, you'll know by now that I've been talking about how a lot of movie companies have pushed back their entire catalog for 2020 to the point where there's like one or two movies coming out at the very end of this year, and that's it. Everything's been pushed back to 2021 or even farther back. So they're trying to hop for those early spots as fast as they can to see if they can make any money back from the fact that they've made none in 2020. And I want to keep an eye on that to see if any more movies are going to jump that fast, because that's the first time I've ever seen a movie change its date and then another company jump at that same date within 24 hours. To me, that just kind of blows my mind. But we have the movie, we have the title, we have the release date. What can we expect out of this film? Obviously, we had a bunch of symbiotes fighting each other in the first Venom film, which I thought the action was pretty great, but we all wanted to see Carnage. At least I did. That's what I was wanting since Spider-Man 3. And now that we're actually getting an on-screen, live-action adaptation of Carnage, I couldn't be happier. But I want to know what it means for the rest of the Sony Marvel Universe and if it's going to play into Spider-Man at all, because next year is going to be big for Spider-Man as far as the films are concerned. Because we've already talked about this a lot. Now that we have Venom 2 coming out June 25th of 2021, we also have Morbius that's still coming out March 19th of 2021, and on July 15th, we'll have Spider-Man 3. They are still trying to set up the Sinister Six. At least that's what I'm assuming, and that's what I'm getting at from all of the movies that are coming out so far, especially since Morbius is coming out, and that is tying in Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. We've seen Scorpion, now we have Venom, and now the potential of Carnage coming in. I don't know if Carnage is going to make it out of Venom 2, but if so, if they team up, which has happened in comics in the past, is that just going to bring more villains into Spider-Man 3 or potential films after Spider-Man 3? So with the exception of Thanos and any other big villain that Spider-Man may have faced in a lot of the team-up films such as Avengers and Captain America Civil War, all of his on-screen villains are still alive so far. So we still have Vulture and we still have Scorpion, and on top of that, Mysterio was still alive. We saw that in the end of Far From Home, and now adding Morbius and Venom to the mix and the potential of Carnage, you've got 6 right there. I don't know if they're going to add any more in Spider-Man 3. That could be a thing, or they could choose to take some of these villains that we already have and bring them back back in and reintroduce them in this third Spider-Man film. But what I want to see happen in either Venom 2 or in Spider-Man 3 is at some point introduce Peter Parker and Eddie Brock on screen together. Obviously, back in the older cartoons and in the comics, at some points, Eddie Brock and Peter Parker are working in the same newspaper office, being the Daily Bugle, both always trying to get pictures of Spider-Man. Now, obviously, they're on completely separate sides of the planet as far as the Sony universe is concerned, but I'm wondering how that's going to go, because obviously Venom makes his appearance based off the fact that he attached himself to Spider-Man. Are we going to go back to a black-suited Spider-Man portrayal in Spider-Man 3? Are they going to try to repeat history but make it better? Who knows? And is there going to be a potential team-up between Spider-Man and Venom? That happens a lot, and if they're bringing in the Sinister Six, that could be a turning point for Venom coming from Venom 2 into Spider-Man 3, if that happens at all. And it could be really dangerous for the Sony universe if Woody Harrelson's character survives in Venom 2 and continues to play Carnage in other films. Obviously, there's no guarantee that he either dies or survives in Venom 2, but seeing as he's going to be the main antagonist, you never know, it could go any which way. And even between Carnage and Venom, there are still more symbiotes that are born from both of them, especially with Carnage, which gives birth to Toxin, who becomes one of the most feared symbiotes to both Carnage and Venom in the comics. And seeing that, if that could potentially continue to lead on with more symbiotes throughout the Venom franchise, could be a big deal and extremely dangerous for Spider-Man. And obviously about 90% of this video is speculation, since all we really have is the title and a date. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think we're going to see any other symbiotes, and do you think they're going to survive? Let's talk about that. Is Cletus Cassidy going to survive Venom 2? If so, do we think we're going to see him in Spider-Man 3 or any other Sony Marvel properties? Do we think we're going to get more dangerous symbiotes out of this? Do we think Venom or Carnage will continue to send off more symbiotes? Are we going to get Toxin? Are we going to get any other of the stronger symbiotes we've seen throughout the TV shows and the comic lines? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd really like to talk about this. The symbiotes are one of my favorite parts of the Marvel Universe, so seeing them on screen like this gets me really hyped and just really ready to see this movie. But until I get any more news on this, whether or not it's going to be Cletus Cassidy surviving Venom 2 somehow, or are we going to see these symbiotes in other films such as Spider-Man 3, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Remember, if you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more movie news videos or if you'd like to see anything else. But until then, and as always, I will see you guys next time.